Hey there, you're getting an extra special bonus episode today because there's something that I want to make sure you don't miss out on. So stay tuned. Welcome to the Do More, Stress Less podcast. I'm your host, Alexis Hasselberger, a time management and productivity coach. In every episode, I give you actionable, practical tips to help you learn to use your time in a way that feels good to you every day. No more hustling, scrambling, or struggling to keep your head above water. So let's dive in, and soon enough, you'll be doing more and stressing less. Quick question for you. Have you heard of time well spent? Well, if not, then today's your lucky day. And if so, well, you still might be interested in listening until the end. So, what the heck is time well spent and why am I talking about it? Well, Time Well Spent is my group coaching program, and I only offer it twice a year. And you're in luck because one of those times is right now. And this is why I wanted to do a special bonus podcast episode about this program, just to let you know about it in case it might be something that feels like a really good fit for you. So before we get into the details of the program, what it is, how it works, etc., then let's talk a little bit about why you might be here listening to this episode in the first place. Now, if you're like many of the folks I work with, doctors, lawyers, managers, freelancers, executives, founders, engineers, etc., like busy professionals, you might also be feeling pretty overwhelmed by the weight of everything that's on your plate. You might be drowning in to-do lists, constantly playing catch up, and feeling like there's just never enough time in your day. And sleep? Well, that's probably the first thing to go when your inbox is scratching the thousands. Yes, you're successful. You're holding it together. But that success may have come at the expense of, well, the rest of your life. Do you wake up already feeling behind? You're juggling countless responsibilities at work and at home, and by the time you crawl into bed, you're mentally and physically exhausted. You know there has to be a better way, but finding the time and the energy to figure it out on your own seems near impossible. You're not alone in this, and you don't have to figure it out all by yourself. And that's exactly why I created Time Well Spent. I created it for you. Time Well Spent is a program that I designed to help you take control of your time, reduce stress, and spend your time more intentionally in service of your own goals and values, whatever those may be. It is a really comprehensive program and it's built on years of experience with my coaching clients. It's tailored for busy people with big lives who are ready to make a change. Now, if you're starting to think, well, that sounds pretty good so far, I want to tell you a little bit more about what you'll get if you decide to join us in this program. So, first, you are going to finally banish that overwhelm. You'll learn to use your time intentionally, aligning the time that you have with your goals and your values so that you can feel accomplished and satisfied at the end of every day. Yes, every day, right? Or almost every day. I mean, we're humans, right? Then you're going to build a single trusted system for all your tasks, your to-dos, all that stuff cluttering up your brain so that you can offload the mental load, so that you can plan for the time that you have, not the time you wish you had, and that you can actually execute on those plans. I'll help you to build a streamlined system that is tailored for your unique brain, that's going to manage all your tasks, all your projects, all those open questions, all of that stuff, ensuring that things don't slip through the cracks. You'll also greatly reduce stress in this program. You'll develop the skills to respond calmly to new information and new tasks as they come in. You will be learning how to lift that weight off of your shoulders on an ongoing basis. You'll move from reactive, where it feels like the day just happens to you over and over, to proactive, where you're the one steering the ship. Gone will be the days where you wake up with that oh shit feeling, wondering what the day holds and whether you'll be able to cross anything off of your list. You'll be able to actually be present instead of constantly running through that mental to-do list. You'll gain the ability to be fully engaged at work and at home without the guilt because you'll no longer be relying on your memory to keep track of all of your responsibilities. And keeping them all in your brain is stressful, let me tell you. You'll also learn to take control of your time. Instead of feeling like there's never enough time, you'll learn to prioritize in such a way that you'll know that the things you did today were more important than the things you didn't do. You will take back control over your days, your weeks, your months, ensuring that you get to fall asleep with a clear head, knowing that you're in control. So, now that you know a little bit about what you'll get out of the program, it might be helpful to understand how the program is structured. And I want you to know that I have considered every element of this program and designed it with the busiest, most time pressed people in mind. At the core of the program is a robust online content platform where there are step by step lessons that are broken into truly bite sized chunks, like 5 minutes, so that you can make progress in as little as 5 to 10 minutes at a time. You won't need to somehow find these like unbroken hours of focused time, 5 hours at a time. You won't need that to make progress. You will be able to make progress in the time that you already have around the margins. And at the beginning of this program, we show you some things right away that you can do to bring in more time, right? Some easy wins that we have to bring in more time. In the content platform, there are video lessons, there are PDFs, there are how to guides, there are templates, there's everything that you are going to need to meet your goals. And in case you're interested in learning a little bit more about the modules, what's in them, here's what we're going to cover. So, first, we cover your reality. We're going to assess your current challenges. We're going to understand your natural traits and tendencies so that we can develop personalized strategies that will work for you and your brain. Then, we're going to move into task management, taming our tasks. You'll build a single trusted system for managing tasks and projects so that nothing falls through the cracks and you get to offload that mental load. Then we tackle planning. In Plan for Success, you'll separate the planning from the doing to make better decisions and increase your productivity, even when the unexpected events show up, which honestly is going to be probably every day, right? Then we move into communication. In Communicate Like a Pro, you'll streamline your communication channels. You will achieve inbox zero ish. Yes, really. So that you'll be able to stay responsive, but without being overwhelmed, without feeling like you're drinking from a fire hose constantly of all of the emails, the Slacks, etc. Then we'll move on to your calendar. In Conquer Your Calendar, we will make sure that the right stuff is on the calendar, that you're spending your time in the right places. Like how often do you leave a meeting feeling like, wow, that was a great use of my time? If the answer was not often, then this module will help you to ensure that the right meetings are on the calendar and that those meetings are actually a good use of time. You'll perform a calendar audit, you'll create your ideal schedule, and you will eliminate the calendar chaos that probably exists right now. Then we'll move on to habit building. And this is really important. And it's something that sets this program apart, right? There is a difference between knowing and doing. The knowing doing gap is real. And we are going to work on building sustainable habits. And that requires more than just willpower and motivation. And honestly, willpower and motivation, they're not always our friends. We don't always have access to them. And they are not what builds habits. Instead, we're going to be using science backed strategies to ensure that the changes you make are here to stay, right? That the things you do in this program, they stay with you for life, that you know how to build habits, you know how to break habits, you know how, what strategies you can employ when the going gets tough. Then we move into efficiency, right? If you ever heard anyone say work smarter, not harder, right? It's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. And in this module about efficiency, you will implement smart strategies like delegation, templatizing, batch processing, etc., to help you do more in less time so that you have more time for all the other stuff you want to do in life. And finally, we end with a focus on focus, right? We will be talking about how to increase your ability to focus, how to reduce context switching. That's a little crazy making sometimes, and get into flow faster so that you can accomplish more without that stress. And honestly, sometimes people are like, why do we do focus at the end? It's because we need to know what to focus on. If we do it at the beginning, sometimes we need, this foundational work allows us to know what is the important things to focus on. Okay, so those are the modules. What else do you get in the Time Well Spent program? Well, one unique aspect of the Time Well Spent program is the supportive community that you will get to be a part of with me. You'll have access to a private Slack group that connects you with other people who are on the same journey, people who are in the group, people who have been in the group before, who've been in a previous cohort, and you're able to then get help whenever you need it, or just to share your awesome wins with the rest of us. That's one of my favorite parts is the small wins and the big wins that people share every week. You'll also get 10 weeks of live coaching calls with me. Those will be with other people as well. You'll get to hear from what's working for other people. You will get to, be in community with other people going through the same thing, and you will have access to me every single week of the program. As one of my recent Time Well Spent graduates said, she said, although it's a group program, Alexis spent time addressing each one of our questions. So we were really getting individualized support. Now, in this program, you will never be left wondering what to do next or how to do it because I will be holding your hand through the whole process. But you don't have to just take my word for it. I want to share a couple of stories that graduates who have been through the program that highlight kind of the impact that this has long term. Now, one participant told me that after completing Time Well Spent, her boss asked her how she was so on top of things. And she proudly said that it was her get your shit together class. That's what she calls Time Well Spent, her get your shit together class. I love that. And that the program had brought back the joy that she had had earlier in her career. Now, another Time Well Spent graduate managed to reduce her working hours by 30% while still getting 2 months ahead of schedule on her most important project of the year. So let me repeat that. She reduced her working hours by 30% while still getting 2 months ahead on her most important project at work. So, is time well spent right for you? Like, does that stuff sound good to you? If you feel unorganized, if you struggle to find that harmony between your work world and your personal life, or if you feel overwhelmed by your responsibilities, then yes, this program is definitely for you. And if you're getting as excited as I am, you might still be wondering, like, can you actually make this happen, right? Maybe you've read all the books, you've downloaded all the apps, and you might even have had a coach before. But if you're still feeling all the same feels, you're still overwhelmed, things aren't still working, then you might be wondering, why is this program any different, right? Would this just be some of the same or would this be different? So I want to tell you, what sets time well spent apart from maybe other things that you have tried. The first thing that I think is really special is that it is built from the premise that everyone is different. Like this program is not cookie cutter. It's not me saying, do exactly this because this is going to work for you. It's about finding out what works for you. And I would be so excited to be your guide on that process. So of course, I am going to share tons of different techniques, tools, et cetera, and I am going to guide you towards the things that are going to work best for your brain. Now, if you're thinking that this might be a fit, then I would urge you to head over to my website. You can find the link in the show notes. You can check out the details. You can read the FAQs. You can even enroll right now if you want. If you do that, if you're still kind of feeling on the fence, uh, you know, let's tease out why that might be. Because sometimes, even though we're thinking, yes, I'm so excited, let's do this, we might be on the fence. We might be thinking, I don't know if it's right for me. So, what are some of the things that often come up for folks? So, you might be thinking, well, I just don't have a budget for something like this, right? I totally get that. I 100% do. I'm a really frugal person. And I want to know that I'm going to get great value for whatever I spend my hard-earned money on. And so that's why whenever I'm thinking about doing any kind of personal development work for myself, that I always think of a certain question. And I want to share that question with you just in case that it helps you. So this question is, what will it cost you if you don't do this, right? What will it cost you if you don't take control of your time? If you just keep carrying on the same path that you're on without making a change, what will it cost your family in lost time with you? What will be the toll on of your stress, on your health? I don't say this to scare you at all, but I think it's a really important question. And it's one that I ask myself every time I'm making any kind of purchasing decision. Now, if enrolling in this program, right, means that it's the difference between you making rent or not, then obviously don't do it. Like that makes no sense. But if it means you have to get a little bit scrappy, it means you cancel your gym membership for the next few months, run in the park instead, or cut back on takeout for a little bit, then I'd encourage you to think about what kind of investment you're willing to make in yourself for the long term, right? You might also be thinking, man, I would love to work with you. I would love to do a coaching program like this, but I don't have time. That's why I'm here, right? I'm already so busy. How can I add one more thing to my plate? And here's the thing, there is never going to be a perfect time to start taking control of your time. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll make progress. And you might be thinking, but right about the bend, things are going to start slowing down again, right? I am going to share a really harsh truth with you. That time isn't coming. If you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to wait for a less busy time, I hate to break it to you, but you might be waiting forever, right? We don't find time, we make it, right? There's never going to be a perfect time to start making meaningful changes in your life. Just like there's never a perfect time to have a baby, never a perfect time to quit a job, right? When we're making meaningful change, there's never just like the perfect time, open free time to make that happen. So if you're doubting whether you have time to start taking control of your time, that is literally all the more reason to take the plunge now so that you don't waste another minute, so that you don't find yourself in the same position a year from now. Now, I know that joining any kind of program may not be a light decision for you, and it probably shouldn't be, right? Like when we are trying to make ourselves, to improve our life circumstances, et cetera, like that's a big thing, right? And I want to make this a no-brainer for you. You might have been burned by things that didn't work in the past, right? And you might be thinking, I don't know if I can do it again. Can I muster it up? I want to make this a no-brainer because I am so confident in time well spent. I offer a 45-day money back guarantee. So if you decide that this is something for you and you complete the program within 45 days, you don't see any positive changes, you just show me your work and I will issue a full refund. It's no risk, all reward. And the reason that I am happy to do that is because I know that if you do the work, you will make change because literally every other single person who has done the work and made the change, it worked, right? So I am so happy to offer this money back guarantee for that reason, because I know you won't need it because you will do the work and you will make the change that you want in your life. Now, are you excited yet? I am so excited about this program. I'm excited every time I offer it, even though I only do so twice a year. And I'm really excited to share that enrollment is actually open right now, but it is only open for a very short window. You have until September 5th at midnight Pacific time to join. And after that, enrollment will close and you'll have to wait for the next enrollment period. Now, if you also want to get a little taste of what it's like to be coached by me, then I'm also offering a couple of free classes coming up on August 28th and August 30th called How to Declutter Your Brain. So that's another option that you might have, and I will put the link in the show notes as well. Now, if you have any questions about the program, if you just want to say hi, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am always here. I am an inbox zero-ish person, so you can rest assured that any email you send my way will be responded to. Remember, it is never too late to take control of your time and start living the life that you truly want. And I would love to be able to be your guide in that process. Now, until next time, back to your regular programming, I want you to do your best to do more and stress less. And that's a wrap on today's episode of the Do More, Stress Less podcast. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with somebody who could use a little less stress in their life. And make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're excited to take action or you need a little extra support, check out the free resources available on my website or schedule a free consultation call with me. You can do both of these at alexishasselberger.com. See you next time.